Hare Krishna, dear devotees, dear friends, dear family members, and dear well-wishers. So today we are going to discuss about a very important topic, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is Bhagavan. So now, how are we going to proceed to prove that Krishna is Bhagavan? So we are not going to use any kind of mental speculation, but we are going to quote from Shastra. So we're going to first read one text from the Srimad Bhagavatam, where it's clearly mentioned that Bhagavan Shri Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in this beautiful verse given by Srila Vyasadeva, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it's mentioned that Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam. And the full verse is as follows: Ete chamsa kalaha pumsa Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam idradi vyakulam lokam mridayanti yuge yuge. So here it's mentioned that Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam, you are Bhagavan. Now most of the time this term Bhagavan is misunderstood by many people. So let's see today how this term Bhagavan actually is to be assigned to only Sri Krishna. So if a person is very, very strong, so in Hindi or in Sanskrit, we're going to call that person as Balvan, because he has got Bal, strength. Now if someone is very merciful, he has got Daya, so then he'll be called as Dayavan. So you see that the term Van means someone who has got a specific quality. But when we come to the level of Bhagavan, what does this mean? It means someone who has got bhag. Now bhag means opulences, and this has been very beautifully explained in the Vishnu Purana by Parashara Muni, who mentions, I quote the verse, aishvaryasya, samagrasya, viryasya, yashasah, shriyoh, jnana, vairagyayoshchaiva, shannam, itim, gana. So in this verse here, it's mentioned that aishvaryasya, samagrasya. Who is Bhagavan? Bhagavan is that personality. He has got these 6 opulences in full. Samagrasya means in full. So aishvaryasya, the one who is the richest. Aishvaryasya, samagrasya. Viryasya, the one who is virya, means who is the strongest. Viryasya, yashasah, the one who is the most famous. Shriyoh, the one who is the most beautiful. Jnanam, the one who is the most knowledgeable, the most intelligent. And vairagya, the one who is the most renounced. So these are the 6 qualities. And the one who possesses these 6 qualities, these 6 opulences, or these 6 bhag, is called Bhagavan. So according to Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada, we see that these qualities, these opulences, are found in full in only Shri Krishna, Bhagavan Shri Krishna. And that's why even when we mention any verse in Bhagavad Gita, it's not written Shri Krishna Uvacha, but it's written as Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, because Bhagavan is Krishna. So here, as we mentioned about Aishwarya, so Bhagavan Shri Krishna is the richest, he is the wealthiest. How can we say? We can see so many people in the world who are rich. Someone can just come and say, I see my bank balance, I'm supposed to be the richest man in this world. But we are just relatively comparing ourselves to others in this relative world, in this material world. But Bhagavan Shri Krishna says that this material world and even the spiritual world, they all that are emanating from him, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, text 8. Like Bhagavan Shri Krishna mentions, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me, and the wise who know this perfectly engage in my devotional service. So this is something very simple to understand. Bhagavan Shri Krishna himself is declaring that he is the source of all material and spiritual worlds. no one else can claim that he is Bhagavan. At times we just use this term and we just actually want to design some Devta Devi. But they are not Bhagavan, because these personalities, they are just there to help Bhagavan Shri Krishna. They are servants, the eternal servants of Bhagavan. And they are there, their service is to provide us all the different facilities so that we can progress in the path of spirituality and go back home, back to Godhead. So this is also mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, when Bhagavan Shri Krishna mentions that whatever people want, they might be worshipping any Devta Devi, any demigods, but at the end, if someone understands that everything is being given by me, Bhagavan Shri Krishna mentioned that, Maya Hitan Vihitan. Everyone is seeking some benefits, some advantage from some Devta Devi, but that is actually being given by Bhagavan Shri Krishna himself. Then Brahmaji, many people think that Brahmaji is the creator, so he is Bhagavan. But Brahmaji never claims himself that he is Bhagavan. But on the contrary, Brahmaji says in the very beautiful Shubhrama Samhita, in the very first verse, Brahmaji starts his invocation and says, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradira Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. So here, Brahmaji mentions that Ishvara is Krishna. And Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha. So Krishna has such a beautiful form. He's got the form of Satchidananda, which is full of eternity, of knowledge, and of bliss. So this is how Brahmaji describes Bhagavan Shri Krishna. And he prays, in all his prayers, he mentions Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Even Lord Shiva, when once he was being questioned by Parvati Mata, when Bhagavan was doing his Leela as Ram in the Ramayana. So Bhagavan Ram was just looking for Sita, and he was just asking everyone, have you seen my Sita? Sita, Sita. So when he was doing that, so Parvati Mata had some doubts. And then he questioned Lord Shiva. He asked him, who is this personality that you are showing your respect? Then Lord Shiva said, this is Prabhu, this is Bhagavan. Then Parvati Mata said, oh, this is your Bhagavan who is crying for his wife. Let me go and test what kind of Bhagavan you are worshipping. But Lord Shiva told her, no, advised her, don't go. Prabhu is doing his Leela, so please don't go. But she was very stubborn, as many of us were stubborn. So he told her, don't go and test Bhagavan. Bhagavan is doing his Nar Leela. But she, out of stubbornness, went to test Lord Ram. And once she reached there, we know what happens later on. As Lord Ram says, my dear mother, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be in Kailash with Lord Shiva. So what are you doing here? So out of shame, because though she had assumed the form of Sita Mata and she had gone in front of Lord Ram, but Lord Ram understood because he is Bhagavan, he knows everything. So then from there, she had to go back to Lord Shiva. And we know here how Lord Shiva actually just banished her, didn't accept her, because she had assumed the form of Sita. And Lord Shiva said, you had assumed the form of my mother, Sita Mata, so I cannot accept you as my wife. So, and we know how Parvati Mata had to, ultimately give up on her body. So these are the small lessons that we have to understand. And all these personalities are confirming that who is Bhagavan? Bhagavan is Krishna, Bhagavan is Ram. So here, as we continue, dear devotees, we have mentioned about Lord Brahmaji, Lord Shiva. Now, even in Bhagavad Gita, when we see Arjun, who was considering Krishna as his charioteer, because Krishna assumed the form as Partha Sarathi. He was the cousin brother of Arjun. So, but when he was confused and when he surrendered the lotus feet of Bhagavan Shri Krishna, and when Bhagavan Shri Krishna gave him all this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, so he realized, and this is also very beautiful mention in the chapter 10, just after the Chatur Shloki, it's mentioned there that Arjun says, Arjun Vacha, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavam, Purusham Shashvatam Divam, Adi Devam, Ajam Vibham. He said, you are Param Brahma, and you are the Purusham, you are Adi Dev, Ajam Vibhum, you are the one who has no birth. So we have to understand who is the person who has no birth. It's only Bhagavan. Only Bhagavan Shri Krishna has all these opulences. So dear devotees, this was this very humble presentation from our Shastra. Who is Bhagavan? Bhagavan is Shri Krishna. Like this we have so many proofs in so many Shastra. But in this small video, we are just introducing this topic, very interesting topic, that if those who are interested, they can come to us. Our temple is open, our centers are open. You can go to any Hare Krishna center, preaching center, or any temple and meet any devotees there. They'll be very happy to serve you, and they'll be very happy to explain to you why Krishna is Bhagavan. Krishna is to Bhagavan Swayam. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna. Bole Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yugdhamai Naam Sankirtan ki jai. Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.